There's a move being discussed behind the scenes that may seem small at first glance, but could change the course of the Vikings' 2025 season in more ways than one. With a roster full of contenders and a coaching staff that's not afraid to challenge its own lineup, the latest rumors involve three big names, two of whom are currently unsigned, and one who could take a Minnesota fan favorite out of the running. I'll tell you all about it in detail, but first, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're wondering if the Vikings are done making changes this offseason, think again. And what's even more intriguing is that these decisions could come down to how confident this coaching staff really is in their current roster. According to Alec Lewis of The Athletic, the Vikings could be eyeing three potential additions before training camp begins: running back Gus Edwards and cornerbacks Asante Samuel Jr. and Jack Jones. And here's where it gets a little wild. In his 53-man roster preview, Lewis listed Gus Edwards not just as a possible addition, but as someone who could actually make the final roster, replacing current Viking Ty Chandler. That's right, despite Chandler still being on his rookie deal and having shown flashes in 2023, Lewis doesn't believe the Vikings trust him enough to handle meaningful reps. Instead, he predicts the team will rely on Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason in a platoon setup, with Edwards serving as the short yardage hammer back. Let's talk numbers. Edwards, most recently with the Chargers, logged 100 carries for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns last season. He's not explosive, but his efficiency in short yardage situations makes him a useful asset, especially considering Minnesota's red zone struggles under Kevin O'Connell. Fans will remember the Week 18 disaster against the Lions when the offense couldn't punch it in at the goal line, a moment that still stings. O'Connell's philosophy has leaned heavily on shotgun sets, even in third and short situations. Whether that's due to scheme or a lack of confidence in the offensive line and running back group remains debatable. But adding someone like Edwards would give Minnesota a between-the-tackles runner capable of converting on 3 RD and 2 and finishing drives at the goal line. Let's not forget, in 2023, Edwards scored 13 touchdowns and was one of the league's most effective red zone backs. But there's a catch. Bringing in Edwards likely means saying goodbye to Ty Chandler. Despite his speed and burst, Chandler has struggled with blitz pickup and hasn't carved out a role on special teams. If the coaching staff doesn't trust him to step in when injuries strike, and with Jones and Mason both having histories of missing time, then moving on might be inevitable. It's not a popular take, but it may be the reality the Vikings are preparing for. Meanwhile, Alec Lewis also believes the backfield will open the season with a 60-40 split in favor of Aaron Jones over Jordan Mason. That ratio may tighten as the year progresses, especially in colder games where Mason's physical style becomes an asset, but at least early on, expect Jones to be the featured guy. Now, let's pivot to the secondary. Cornerback depth remains a concern. While Byron Murphy Jr. is locked in, and there's optimism around Isaiah Rodgers and Mekhi Blackmon, there are still questions. Blackmon is returning from a torn ACL, Rodgers has yet to prove himself in purple, and the rest of the depth chart, including Dwight McGlothern and Najee Thompson, lacks experience. That's where Asante Samuel Jr. and Jack Jones come in. Samuel had a standout 2022 season, drawing some comparisons to Murphy. While he regressed last year, he still offers quickness, instincts, and slot versatility. Meanwhile, Jack Jones is a physical, high-energy corner who started 17 games for the Raiders but ranked near the bottom of the league in coverage grades. He's an intriguing fit for Brian Flores' scheme but comes with clear risks. Neither would be expected to start, at least not immediately, but both could provide valuable depth and injury insurance. With training camp around the corner, the Vikings aren't looking for headline-grabbing names. They're looking for roster insurance. The kind of signings that don't get talked about much in June but could make all the difference in November. The truth is, Byron Murphy is incredibly versatile and capable of sliding into the slot if needed. That means the real concern is on the outside. Who starts if Rodgers or Blackmon goes down? Are you ready to roll with Jeff Okudah, McGlothern, or Zachary Vaughn? That's the uncomfortable question Lewis is raising, and one the Vikings may still answer with a late summer signing. So now it's your turn, Vikings Nation. What's the move you'd make before training camp? Would you sign a short yardage back like Gus Edwards, or stick with Ty Chandler? Do you think the cornerback room needs more depth, or are you confident in Rodgers and Blackmon? Drop your take in the comments. Why 4 yes if you'd sign Gus Edwards, and 4 no if you'd stay put. And let me know who you want to see added before camp kicks off. And let's not forget, this front office has made it clear they're not afraid to make last-minute moves if they believe it strengthens the roster. The question now is whether they see these potential additions as luxuries or necessities. The edge they're trying to build isn't just about talent, it's about reliability when adversity hits mid-season. And with the Vikings' current CB room, one injury could change everything. Take Isaiah Rodgers, for example. There's excitement around his speed, instincts, and fit within Brian Flores' system, but he hasn't played a single down in a Vikings uniform yet. What if he doesn't meet expectations? What if Blackman's recovery hits a snag? Or Murphy shifts inside and leaves the boundary exposed? That's where a guy like Asante Samuel Jr. becomes more than just a depth piece, he becomes a necessity. His ability to play inside and out, contribute in multiple coverage packages, and even rotate on special teams adds valuable flexibility to a defense that thrives on disguise and movement. Jack Jones, on the other hand, is a bit more polarizing. His coverage metrics weren't impressive in 2023, a 52.9 PFF grade and ranked 168th out of 222 corners, but he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's physical, confident, and aggressive. Flores loves DBs who play with that kind of edge. If used situationally, perhaps in nickel or dime looks, Jones could absolutely bring value. It's about deployment, not headline stats. The theme here is clear. Don't wait for injuries to expose a lack of depth. Prepare now. Whether it's an extra goal line runner who gives you confidence on third and short or a veteran corner who can step in without hesitation, these are the kind of June and July moves that often define how a team survives November and December. So what happens next? Do the Vikings stand pat and bank on player development and health? Or do they push all in on a few smart, strategic signings to close the offseason? No one's expecting a superstar to walk through the door, but sometimes the right role player makes all the difference. Now it's your turn, SKOL Nation. Do you think Minnesota should add Gus Edwards to bolster the backfield? Should they bring in another corner like Asante Samuel Jr. or Jack Jones to lock down the secondary depth? Or should they trust the guys already on the roster? Drop your answers in the comments, type Y4 yes or N4 no on Edwards. And if you think the Vikings still need one more move before camp, let's see those SKOLs in the chat. And if you've come this far and enjoy exclusive Vikings content every day, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any news. The season is coming, and together we'll follow every step. Until next time, SKOL.